Good morning, folks. It is Motivation Station with Rose and Sanjay. Rose, good morning, good morning.
Good morning,
How
Sanjay.
how are you? How's everything going?
I hope you're feeling the energies that really right now it's like we had a beaver super full moon, the
Mm,
biggest one in this year, and it's closer to our Earth this time. Next closure will be in 2034. I hope you're feeling that full energy, a lot of transformations happening. Don't forget this year's 2025, which is number nine. Nine is about completion. Everything you
mm,
didn't complete it, the the year will force you to complete it till the end of the year. So
yeah.
if you're going through a turbulence, if you're going through a lot of emotions, if you're going through a lot of heavy energy, this, I don't know where this place coming from, but they love it. They want to be part of the show. And what everything that did not complete and it needs to be completed in your life because you're delaying your happiness, it's gonna
Mm.
happen. So how are you?
I'm good. It's been an interesting week to say the least. It's been kind of hectic. A lot of work. Just the same stuff with work. A lot of stuff just like going on. Everything is good otherwise. I'm trying to. I got a new camera that I just set up like 15 minutes ago, and I know there's some dark
Ooh.
sections. Yeah, so I'm trying to fix that stuff first, but I can just handle it later. Um, but otherwise, like things are going very good. At home at least. It's just been a busy week. I was able to go out to our mutual
Meet and
spot,
greet. I've
and
seen the meet and greet situation, seen some
yeah, I was just
pictures. I'm like, ooh.
I forgot to text. Oh, I did. Oh, I because like I want Frank to come out, but I was kind of very last minute, so I had actually texted Gina, and I was like, it was like towards the end of the day, and I was like, Gina, like, are you still good for me to come out? And she's like, yeah, yeah, come through. So I was like, all right, cool, cool, cool. So then I was able to
Yeah.
go out. I met our mutual friend wasn't there, but there were other friends that were. Um, but I was able to catch up with everybody. I was out there for a little while, but we had a good time. I think Gina even took a picture. She might have sent it to you. But we had a good time like meeting her, and it was funny because like when I first walked in, I was trying to look for people I recognized off the bat, and like I wasn't finding anybody. So I was just like,
Mhm.
let me just sit down at a table. And the bartender, I was like, hey, can I just sit here? And they're good. And then one of the friends came by and they're like, Sanjay? I was like, oh my God, like I haven't seen you in forever. And we caught up. And then like Gina finished up work and then she sat down and were sharing conversations and stories and stuff like that. And overall, we had a very very good time. It was nice to actually see someone like someone. I feel like we would have maybe seen each other, known each other at one point before, but even if we didn't, like it was still nice to like sit there and talk and catch up. But like now I'm trying to get to the point that I'm trying to catch up with all the people I want to be catching up with. And it's going good. It's just a lot going on.
That is amazing. Tell me a little bit more about the hotspot, the name, the location. If somebody wants to come through, come
Mm,
see
so
Gina.
so it was it's nice. Like I'm trying to remember what it used to look like before, right? And I was like, I remember certain aspects of it when I went in there. Like I can feel the freshness. I can feel like the new energy that the place is bringing. I mean, like when I went in, I went on a Thursday night, and Thursday night's still not Friday, right? So tonight or yesterday night or even tonight is probably gonna be a lot. But like Thursday night, it wasn't crowded, but it was enough that it was comfortable. It was filled.
Yeah.
People were having a good time. Um, it was a comfortable place, and I'm really proud of like everyone that put the time and effort into it. Um, I was able to actually take a small video of it. I sent it to Morgan too, and she's like, "Yep, looks like a bar," and she's like, "Oh, it looks nice." I don't think I have to get the picture. Gina, if you're watching, you guys send me the picture so I can send it to Morgan as well. But yeah, like it was nice. You know, it's very comfortable. Um, I don't think I ever had problems like parking. Like there's always like parking right in front of the building every time I come. So then it's nice to just be able to pull up and do our thing. I didn't get to try any of the food unfortunately, and Polly wasn't there. So like, I just had a Guinness. Keep it simple. Um, and
Still, it's 2 minute four.
yeah, yeah, and like I'm trying to go back when the other guys are there so I can kind of see them and talk to them more. But otherwise, I like it. I like it a lot. I see a lot of potential there. For something that just started out for a week, like I think they're doing pretty good, and I think over time they'll see like a decent turnover. They have said that they had customers come that were not regulars, right? So obviously a lot of places have regulars, but they've had places people come that like were not regulars, which is nice because then that just kind of opens the door to different people exploring
Yeah.
bars and things like that. Um, yeah, so I
Yeah, and
just
I remember when I used to work there, I
Mhm.
used to treat it like it's a brewery in one of the best breweries of New Jersey. So
Mm.
people were coming from different states to try the beer from the brewery. People were coming from Virginia, from Arkansas, from Colorado, just to try out new beer because that's what people do. They even have an app, beer drinking app, when you
Yeah,
check in breweries what beers you had. So I always treat it that way, and it always was that way for me. I've seen a lot of people from different states, so I wish to say keep it that way.
yeah, yeah. No, it was like I said, it's a good experience. I didn't get to like go over too much of it. Trying to see. I'm trying to play with this light, but I didn't get to see like all the different beers per se. And I know if I had the chance, they would have probably given me like a decent tour of the place, right? But I didn't get a chance to fully tour it. So I was like, next time when I see Dove, I'll probably not Dove. Oh yeah. Well, when I go see them next time, I might go today because I think they were saying to come through on Friday night. So I'm trying to see if I can make it out tonight and then go. But I do have a birthday party to go to, so I'm trying to do that as well. But I don't want to be all over the place. Yesterday was my anniversary with my wife, so we went out for
Yes,
dinner.
I was going to say that.
It was a good time. We went out for food. The food was actually only just all right,
Hmm.
but overall, like afterward, we went out. We got some bubble tea. It was a good time.
Where did you guys go?
We go to Longhorn Steakhouse for our
Okay.
anniversary. Yeah, because like we've been going there.
Okay.
I'll just get like a nice salad. She'll get like her steak, and then like we were like the first year we got married. I asked her, I was like, out of everything you want right now, what do you want? And she's like, oh, I want steak. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna argue.
My
So
kind of girl.
so my we like we got married in New York, right? And it was like a whole trip there, right? Because we got married by the
No.
state. So I took my parents, we got married, we came back home, and then we changed and we went right out for dinner. And then like when we went, and we didn't tell them this year, and I think if we did had we said something, they would have maybe like given us something. But the first few years we went, we met a server who was just like absolutely fantastic. And when I told him like we just got
Hmm.
married today, like he got us like a dessert. He took a picture with us and all that, and like it was a good time. And then the next year, so I left a note telling him like we just got married and I appreciate all the stuff, right? He actually told me, then like the next year I came, he's like, I still have your note that you gave me last year. I He's like, I saved your note, and I was like, you're just gonna get another one, right? The third and fourth year, like the few years we went after that, we did 1 year not go because of COVID, but we had a different server who started to get to know us, and then she started leaving, like her name was Kat, and like she would draw a picture of the cat on the receipt and just be like happy anniversary, so we kept the receipt. So then the year after
Oh.
after the year after we saw her, we told her we kept the receipt. So it was funny all this, but this year we went, like everybody was different, even the food quality was different. I mean, not that it wasn't a good time, it wasn't the same. So we're like, you know what, it's time to change up the tradition, we're gonna try somewhere else next year. But overall, like we had it was a good time. It was just it was different. It was a little bit different. But um yeah, just like the whole week was just full of being busy and then just making sure I celebrate the time I have with my people. So, but even today, like
Hmm.
I said, I have a birthday to go to. So I'm gonna go out. Yeah, just a lot going on. I just want to catch up with comments here from Gina. So
Yes,
Gina also said
absolutely.
that it's been a weird emotional roller coaster for the last a week or two. Yep, of course. And then she says, "Poor Sanjay, I saw you, and then I realized I knew what you looked like, but you didn't know what I looked like exactly." So I showed up, and I'm like, "Yeah, somebody will come up to me. It's
Somebody's
fine."
Gina.
I was like, somebody will walk up to me. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. And after she finished her thing there, she did. She approached me, and then she was just like, hey, it's like nice to meet you and stuff like that. And I was like, the pleasure is all mine. And I actually I was actually out there for um like a good number of hours. I got
How did
there
that
around 7.
feel? You didn't know her, how she looks like. Like,
I
how did
it,
that feel?
never really bothered me because the thing is like the way that Gina and I like talk to each other, whether it was on the podcast or even in person, like
Yeah.
we didn't skip a step there at all. It was just kind of like meeting up with a friend, and that's it. Like I think there are times where I have talked to people online and met them in person, and like it was never different, even whatever way they looked. Never ever occurred to me like, oh my god, you look this way or anything like that. I mean, I told her she looks fantastic because I know she's on her own healing journey, and we talked, and it was an emotional conversation here and there, and we talked about you obviously because we're like we're talking about
No.
Rose. We talked about like each other, where we came from, things like that, and like I had to remind her because there's times that both of us had hard conversations because we were both the type of people that like we go out and we give the world whatever we can give, but like we don't get anything in return. And then the second we get that back returned to us, we don't know how to react. So like her giving me compliments and me giving her compliments, we were both kind of stunned. We were just like, what do we say? What do we? But I think after the night grew more, like we started to we remember to appreciate ourselves, right? So I named today's episode "Don't Forget Who You Are," right? And I think the biggest thing
No.
was Gina was sharing stories with me and everything she's going through, and she's like, I can't believe all this. I was like, the biggest thing you have to remember is you went through all this journey, you went through all this, rough times, good times, stuff like that, right? But I was like, at the end of the day, you're here for a reason. You're still doing something that you're here for a reason. We had so many paths in the past that we could have diverted one different way, and we might be completely different people. But I was like, I'm proud of where we are. I'm proud of who we are, and I'm proud of where we're going. And I think that started opening up a lot of reflection. Um, Gina saying her favorite food, I guess, is steamed lobster is my all time favorite food. I know my wife likes the lobster. I don't think I ever like wanted to try it. Thing
I
is, I don't.
never was a fan of lobster. For
You know,
me,
like
it's like a
lobster.
rubber.
I
I'm
like
like, what are you eating?
when we go to
Rubber?
Myrtle Beach. When we go to Myrtle Beach, one of my friends' moms is always like, um, my one of my friends' moms is always like, she gets a lobster soup because I guess in Myrtle Beach,
Yes,
fresh,
the
whatever.
lobster bisque. I'll
Yeah,
take that.
yeah. So she like loves that, and I was like, okay, that's cool. But then like, I think my wife had it when we go to Cape Ann. She's like, it's good there too. So, I don't doubt any of that. Um. Oh, the other thing is, I don't normally order it when I go out because I eat the entire lobster and it can take me 2 hours. Fair enough. I mean, that's a big lobster. Uh, Oh my gosh, she said that that's such a cute thing that your server cat does on her receipts. It's a personal touch that makes a difference. Yeah, like I think we talked about it not too long ago, but we're talking about even like tipping services and stuff. Like I do find it important to make sure I give money accordingly, right? But it's always for me. Like I mean, I always tip no matter what because obviously you're working for your money, right? But when you start adding that little extra touch, that little extra like personality to your service, like that's what catches me, that's what brings me back. And that's why like little things like Rose, I think when I first met you and like we met up and stuff, I think I kept coming by just because we started connecting more. And it wasn't because like of the services or anything like that. We just started talking more, and then I got to know you more, and then like
Yeah,
we became really good friends. And the same thing with Gina,
I think
like
yeah,
you know
yeah. I think the best thing between connection of us that we both non-judgmental. Like we judge, but we don't judge. Like when I look at the person, I look at the soul. I don't look at the background, where it came from, the knowledge, the education, any physical appearance. Nothing
mm,
makes it special for me than a soul.
mm.
That's
it
why you said don't forget who you are,
Yeah.
right? Take a look within your soul. Bring your
So
soul and take a look around at other people's soul.
the
Not
other
where they came from, what they drive, right?
yeah,
the story with the people. Oh, I love luxury car, whatever. It's
Uh,
not about that.
yeah, no. So I was gonna say like that's the other reason why I named the episode the way I did, right? Because I think, especially as of late, we hit a point that we we're challenged, right? With work, with life happening around us, like, at the old place you were and having challenges with like your coworker, and like me being at my job now and having challenges with like my management and stuff like that. I think there were times that we started to forget who we are because we were put in such hard spots. And that, I think, one thing I'll tell you right now, Rose, is, one thing that Gina and I talked about was the last podcast episode that we did, like the last few, right? Because you were talking about how frustrated you were with like the last position. And the one thing Gina kept mentioning is like she noticed how much of your demeanor started changing the more we started talking more and the more I started saying certain things. You went from being like protecting yourself, like you're like kind of like your physical movements and stuff are kind of aggressive. You're just kind of like not relaxed, tense, stuff like that. And she's like, by the end of the podcast, you were you again. You are relaxed, you're at peace with yourself. You're just you had to, I know you had to vent to let things out, but the thing is like you started feeling better towards the end of it after we talked more about it. Sorry, let me finish the other comments too. So Gina says also, for me it was an awesome experience for me. That was kind of cool to you to have not know what I look like, so I asked you an odd question. Do I at all? Yeah, she asked me, do I at all resemblance what I sound like on the podcast? I think Sunny said yes. I do match the online persona. So that's, I told her, I was like, well, I don't know what you sound like because I don't know your voice, obviously. But I was like, the way you talk in the podcast, the way you leave comments, is the exact way you are talking to me in person. There's a little bit. I think for us, like honestly, if there was no like, not that there was a time allocation, but obviously it's late and we both finished work and we obviously have to go home. I think if there was a point that we didn't really have like a time allocation, we could have just talked all night. We could have had no problem, and like it was just fun to catch up with like new friends and things like that. But it was fun. It was fun sharing stories about our lives and where we came from. It was fun like talking about our mutual friends and just like how far they came. And I was telling them, I was like, the last time I saw people was like more than 6 years ago. I was like, I don't come around as often. But like the other friends that were there, like I missed one of them because they just left by the time I got there. But the other guy that was there,
No.
that I was talking to, we didn't miss a beat. We just started talking as if like nothing had happened. We were just chit chatting. I was just he was telling me about like the bar and the building of the bar and stuff like that. And then I was just telling him that I was like, yeah, like in that time I got married, I had a kid, stuff like that. And I told him, I was like, maybe one day during the day, like or like late afternoon, I'll come through and I'll bring my kid just to say hi and stuff like that. And obviously, she's not gonna come there and hang out and drink and smoke or whatever, but she'll come and she'll meet the people that are there. I gotta have my daughter meet our mutual friend. Like there's a lot of catching up to do that I do miss. So I'm gonna eventually figure that part out. But overall, it was a fantastic experience. It was a lot of fun. I liked
I
it.
am super excited. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, meet and greet happened. It happened.
It did. It did.
It's amazing. I know you wanted to go checking out the spa. You wanted to see a few people, and I'm glad you were able to connect with your friends that you didn't connect for a while.
Yeah, and it's good to see that they're like doing well. Like I was always worried about certain people and certain situations, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on down there, and I'm sorry I haven't really been around, but it's funny because when the one friend that like was there that left, I text him after. And I know he's gotten a new phone and stuff. So he's like, who the F is this? When I messaged him, because I was like, I just missed you. And he's like, who is this? And I text him. He's like, oh, the bleep bleep bleep. I won't say what he said per se. And he's just like he's just like, come back Saturday. Like I haven't seen you in so long. Like you can't not show up and not see me. I was like, all right, deal. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna try to go visit. If I don't make it this Saturday, which if you're watching, if I don't make it today, I'll definitely try to make it during the week again. I just have a lot going on today, so I want to make sure I finish what I can.
Yeah,
Um,
and enjoy the birthday party.
yeah, exactly. Like it sucks because I have two birthdays today because one of them rescheduled to today's date. So it's like I have to choose. And they both know that if I don't make it, they're not gonna be upset with me because I'll find them eventually. But I think one of them, they have friends coming that I don't really see as often, and they were actually the best man at his wedding. And that's the only time I've seen him. So it'd be nice to catch up with him. My other friend I see on like a weekly basis. So I was like, listen, if I don't come out to your family birthday get together, we'll just go out and drink anyway. So next week I'm taking him out. So that's that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so it's all right, but like it's nice to be able to catch up. I actually wanted to say last week, I think after the podcast, I went for Korean barbecue. Remember I had mentioned that? So
Yeah.
I asked my one friend to come, and he said he was gonna come regardless. And then my daughter asked my other friend to come, right? And I asked him a few times during the week if he wanted to come. He never really gave me an official answer, so I was like, that's fine. Then I asked him that day right before I left. I was like, hey, like, are you free for lunch? Come through. I was like, my daughter's asking you to come, like, come through. And he goes, if she's asking me to come, I have to come. I can't come. I can't not come. I gotta go now. I'm getting ready right now. He came, right? And this is what I love about my friends. Like I don't think we were ever people that like we pictured ourselves with kids and like being like dad life and stuff like that, right? But we came, they talked to my daughter, they played with my daughter, they took her by the hand and went to go get dessert and ice cream from like the Korean barbecue, and like she loves them, she loves hanging out with them, and I appreciate them being around too, and they like spending time with her too because like they're fun, they think she's funny and stuff like that. So at the end of this month we did a friendsgiving the last few years, and like we're gonna do friendsgiving again this year, and like she's like looking forward to seeing like everybody, which is great. And like I call them all uncles and stuff like that. Today she was like, oh, can I say hi to Rose today? I was like, if you remember to come by, you can say hi to Rose, but I'm still setting stuff up. I think she's still downstairs, but if she comes by, whatever. But she's like, who are you gonna call?
Ah.
She's like, who are you gonna call? And I was like, oh yeah, like she said like one of my friends' names. I was like, no, I'm gonna meet up with Rose. Do you remember Rose? She's like, yeah, I remember Rose. And I was like, yeah, just come back later if you want to say hi. But if anything, I can tell her to come by next time. Um, but yeah, sorry. So let me catch up with Gina too. None of these surface attributes really mean much to me as you as a person. What made you who you are? Where do you come from? And where do you feel you're going? When I connect with people, it's not surface, and I think that's why it's hard when they don't have that depth. But I'm learning not to take that personally. So yeah, stuff like that, Gina. Like we were literally talking about how sometimes and even to you, Rose, I guess it's a good conversation to have. Sometimes we give as much as we can, right? And sometimes in the end, it burns us, right? And
So we're
sometimes
recycling the energy. Remember, like
yeah,
with
but it,
with
it,
us.
it, it took time for that realization because like sometimes we get mad at the universe for not treating us the same way we treat it, right? And I even sent something to Gina today on like an Instagram post, right? And it was like it doesn't matter what the universe gives back to you, you just give back to the universe, right? Because I told her and I told her like a funny story of like Thomas Edison, right? And it was just kind of like it Thomas Edison didn't say I found one way to make a light bulb. He said I found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb, right? So I told her that in retrospective to friendship. I was like, you'll meet 1,000 people in your life and you'll give them all you got, right? And yeah, it does come to burn a little bit, right? But one day you're gonna give that energy to someone who's gonna match it back, you know? And I told her, I was like, look, we met because of the podcast. We have this friendship here. We have this energy here. Now she knows that she can text me. Now she knows she can talk to me, right? And I was like, I know it took a lot of burning for you to go through your life and like the people you met and your friends and your acquaintances and your lovers and whoever it could be. But I was like, out of all that, you're still here being you, and now you got me too, right? So I had to remind her that like sometimes, like yeah, like I think the biggest part she's learning is she's learning her boundaries. She's learning maybe I shouldn't give everything to everything, just give them a point until she can really learn to trust them, and that takes time to do. And sometimes even in that process, you get burned. But I think that's why it's very important for us to remember that we should always be us. The world won't dictate who we are with the what's happening around us, so it was a gentle reminder to her. Gina even said it was a gentle reminder to you when we talked about, with you and your last job and like, your coworker and your manager and stuff like that. We had to remind you that like Rose, you're doing great. You were in a place that you didn't belong, and one day you'll find your place. One day you'll find where you need to be, right? And the most beautiful part is you're still on your way. just like Gina's still on her way, just like I'm still on my way. I'm at a point that like I'm considering leaving my current job, right? And now I have a new team member. A lot of people at work like me a lot. Like they defend what I do. And now I almost feel like if I leave, I'm going to hurt everybody. And it scares me to do that. And then I thought to myself, do I stay here and burn myself for these people? Because I feel like if I stay here, I'll save a lot of people from work. I'll save a lot of people from like them getting burnt out and stuff like that, right? But the funniest part is I sit here and I question all that. But the few times I asked all these people, you know what they said to me? You know what they said to me? They're like, if you're gonna leave, it's not a problem. They're like, you got to do what's best for you. Don't worry about us. That's how life goes. Don't worry about us. You're not leaving because of me. That's what they said. You're not leaving because of me. We know why you're leaving. You're not leaving because of me. And we'll always stay in touch. And if you ever need anything, you hit me up. If I ever need anything, I know I can rely on you. But they're like, if you leave this job, we're not bothered at all. Go spend time with your family. Go spend time with your loved ones, you know? Don't overwork yourself. Don't burn yourself out for here. They kept reminding me this, and I'm over here fighting my own battle, telling myself that no, I'm gonna hurt them. They're like, no, you're gonna hurt us by staying and thinking you're hurting us. That's how you're gonna get hurt. Like I got humbled really quick when I started questioning stuff. They're like, yo, if you need to leave, just go. We'll figure it out. But like you leaving, we're not gonna judge you, right? There is gonna be someone at work that is gonna judge me for leaving, right? But I don't care. Forget them. Like you're always gonna be a bad guy in somebody's story. That's what I came to learn too. You're always gonna be a bad guy in somebody's story. Forget that. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. If they want to make you the bad guy, you turn the other chick. You just walk away. If you ever encounter them in person, treat them with respect, treat them with dignity, even if they wronged you. That's what I came to learn. And I've met a lot of people who wronged me, and I would still stick my neck out for them. If they ever came to me and they're like, "I have no job," I got your back. Let me see what I can find you. I'll give you a little bit more money. I'll do what I can for you, and I do what I can for the people I love. You know, I do what I can for the people I care about, and these guys know that. I think for me, and I think even for like Gina, I think for us, it's just like sometimes when people tell us things like that, we don't know how to handle it because we were never given that love and care too. We are the people that we need in our lives. I never had a full person to tell me that, pat me on back, you're doing great, you're doing a good job, right? But I was always the one doing that. Why? Because Gina and I both know that we were at places where no one did that to us, and we know what it's like to be on rock bottom, and we see what it's like. We see how bad it can get. We would never, even our own enemies that you would want to call them, even our own enemies, we would never want to see them down there. So that's what I love about like Gina when I met her, because I felt that energy right off the back, and I needed to remind her that she was doing a good job. You can even like
Yes.
Gina will probably text you. The amount of times I said I'm proud of her, I think she started crying about how many times I said I'm proud of her. I was like, you've been through fire, you've been through hell, you've been through so much,
I
right?
am really proud of her.
I had her, I was like, look at me. And like, we had to make eye contact for me to tell. I was like, you need to understand that I'm very proud of you and you need to be proud of yourself, right? I was like, despite getting burnt from
Yes.
people, despite from getting even like attacked by people at this point, right? I was like, you got me, you got Rose, you got Morgan, you got all of us here. You have a backbone of
The
support.
last 3 years of me connecting with her in a different level uh, did give us a very beautiful fruits of labor. I've seen a huge difference in her. I've seen huge difference in myself, and connecting with people on a different level, on a deeper level, it does make a huge difference.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We don't connect on the surface, as she said. We connect on a deeper level because we here to let you know that you're doing good, you're doing
Yeah.
great, and we are proud of you. I was actually this week was studying about Japanese wisdom, and one of the techniques that they use, first of all, laziness, they call it disease. That's how they call it.
Mhm.
That's their culture. And one of the techniques, it was 7 techniques. I'm not going to tell you all of them, but I'm going to tell you one is doing something 1% a day. Like 1%.
Yeah.
How much is that, right? It's like so little, but it's so much at the same time.
Hmm.
And just by seeing people doing 1%, I can already proudly can say I'm proud of you,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
But the craziest part is like when you actually sit there and try to calculate what does 1% mean, right? You can't. You literally can't, right? Because when you give even a little bit of effort, it ends up being more than 1%.
1%.
No, it
And
means like you think you did 1%, but honestly, it comes out to no, you did 7, you did 10, you did 12, you did 15. Like you don't actually ever do 1%, but to your mind, it
yeah,
may feel that way. That okay, I did 1%, but
but
I agree
yeah,
with you. I was
talking
overall,
about laziness, do 1% for 30 days and you're gonna see how your body wants more. Example, you just did one squat or
mm,
one push up, just one, but it's every day for 30 days. After 30 days, you're gonna see how your body wants to do more, maybe two, maybe 10. So that's 1% doing something,
no,
and that
yeah,
is
yeah,
amazing.
I
That
agree,
is amazing. You don't
and like
have to do a lot. You don't have to do overwhelming stuff. No,
yeah,
just one sit up, one push up, whatever that is in your mind, whatever
yeah.
is comfortable for you.
And like you said,
One sit.
you can word it in that way too, right? So like for me, like I wouldn't call it 1%, but
Clean
like
one dish. That's it.
just
Just
do
kidding.
one thing. Literally, you do one thing, and it all starts becoming a habit. And that's why like we sometimes like, and this is why like I called the episode what I called the episode, but that's why I was like, the opposite can happen, right? Because like you're here trying to better yourself, and then you'll hit times where you're challenged, right? And that 1% that you do every day might falter because now the world is against you and trying to fight back what you're trying to achieve in yourself. But the most important part is we have to fight for that, right? So you even fighting the world against you, that's honestly even more than 1%. That's more than like you would have to actually do. Hypothetically, in a sense, I'm gonna put it this way: like that, like your last job was really challenging you, and it was challenging you to the point that you put all this 1%, 10%, 50% into yourself. That job started taking away from you, right? But just because that job is taking it away from you, like you fighting back against that job for yourself, that's more than 1%. You know what I mean? Like even you standing up for yourself is a challenge. It is. Everybody can't do that. But you going back and saying like, no, I know what I'm worth. I know what I can do. I've done this for a while, right? I mean, obviously, I had to come back to earth and humble you to remind you that, you know, you may be great at your job, right? But you're not so amazing. Not sorry, I don't want to say it like that. But you're not so amazing at the job that you don't have space to learn. You don't have space to grow. So I had to humble you and remind you that like even though you do good, there's always you can do better. And the better that you could do is not necessarily just for yourself, but people around you. You're trying to teach the guy how to do better. You're trying to teach the guy like, hey, you can do it like this, right? And even stuff like that was all adding up. All of that was helping. All of that was like part of who you are. But like him challenging you back was really putting you on the spot. So like I said, like even Gene and I talked about it a little bit. Like when we met, we're happy that you left because that would have taken you away from who you are. That would have taken away who you are. Like maybe things could have changed over time, but it would have costed you your peace. And I think when I talked about with Gina, that I think we really did see your peace being challenged. So we were very happy when changes were made. All right, let me catch up with Gina here. So Gina says, authenticity is so important to us. I wouldn't treat enemies that way. I would actually hold out my hand and ask them, what can I do to help you? Those were hard words to hear, Sanjay, but thank you so much. By the way, I think your chat is okay. I just read them late because sometimes when Rose and I are talking, we're very in depth in our
Yes.
conversations. We just don't say what your comments. So your comments are probably working good. That 1% is so difficult to do at times when you're because that 1% is so difficult to do at times. I think she just means in general that it's hard. That's when I started saying I'm taking it day
One
by
percent
day,
is not hard.
one thing at a time. That's all I can do. When you think you can't do anything at all, that 1% is motivating. Yes, stepping outside into the world already requires way more than 1%. Honestly, it's hard to deal with when you're going through it. Yeah, no, exactly. So even this stuff, like I'm, and like I said, this is the way we're just speaking, right? So Rose is saying 1%, and all she really is saying is the same thing I'm saying, where it's like, maybe I don't look at it as 1%. I just count it as doing one thing, right? It's still the same
Okay.
meaning. Yeah, it's still the same meaning
It's
in
a
that sense.
Japanese wisdom. It's a Japanese wisdom about laziness being a disease and how to work through laziness, right? So it's more of a like just working that like 1%. It's like, so they caught that laziness. They have 7 techniques, and this is one of them. They caught in that laziness and they right away turning it to productiveness, right?
Mm, mm,
So one thing you can do is smile for
mm,
30 days. That could be a 1%. Can you smile?
mm,
Just think about it for once a day, and you're going to smile for 10 seconds or 1 second. You smile at yourself, boom, done, right? It could be anything.
mm,
I mean, I'm interpreting it a little bit differently, not according to laziness, right? I'm not lazy to smile, I'm just hurt to smile, right? No, it's just something like 1%. I don't know. A wash after you finished your coffee, wash your cup, right? Every day. Instead of just, it's going to sit there all day waiting for you till you get back from work and wash it later, right? Something like that. Something easy. We don't have to put thoughts to it. We don't have to like put our traumas and pain towards it. It's just something easy, you know?
mm.
Put
And,
a
and
lipstick on once a
and
day or whatever.
the little things like that, they really add up, right? So one day you'll have the conversation with yourself when you're doing this stuff, and you're like, I'll do 1%, right? I'll do 1%, and then before you know it, you don't start thinking about how much percent you're gonna do. You just start doing things naturally, right? So one day
More, yeah.
you're
You
like,
gotta
I'm
do
gonna clean
more.
one dish. That's my 1%. Next day, you're like, I start cleaning two dishes, right? And you're like, okay, yeah, this is 2%. Before you know it, you're doing your entire, like dishes, like in the sink throughout the day. You don't even calculate the percentage anymore. You're not gonna be like, I did 38% today. You're just gonna be like, all right, I'll do this. You know what? I'm gonna mop today. And then you just start mopping. Oh, I'm gonna clean the counters today too. Before you know it, you're cleaning your whole kitchen, and it's not in taking up the time that you think it would take up. You're not thinking about how much time it's
And
gonna
that
take,
creates,
effort,
yeah, that
and it
creates
creates habits.
productivity.
Yeah,
Yeah, that creates productivity. You feel great. Oh, wow, I did this 1%, and you feel great. And over time, those feeling great moments is going to compile to one great big moment. And you're like, wow, I'm actually doing this.
yeah, and then
Consistency.
I think the beautiful part also is like when it starts hitting you, like you look back, right? And that's one thing I did too, and it makes you more grateful, right? I look back and I'm like, how did I never start this? Like why was it so difficult then? And you forget the reasons why things were hard, because now things are so much better that you're just like, things are great, things are going and stuff like that, and it's all awesome. So yeah, like I said, that this is why I try to remind us of who we are. Like today, Rose said, okay, let's meet at 10:45, which we did, right? And I got up and I was like, I gotta make my. So when I used to get up, I was like, I gotta do this quick. I gotta make my smoothie. I gotta get my water. I got a new camera. I gotta set it up, right? I got up around like 9:30. I took my kid downstairs, spent some time with her, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do the podcast. I took my time. I made my smoothie. I made my water. I set up my camera comfortably, and I sat down. And I'm like, okay, time to do the podcast. Sometimes I like, I remember there's times where I rush. I just put on my headset and jump into it. But now, like, I sit here and I take my time and I get in here. Um, and one thing I actually started doing is like when I go to church,
You
right, on
feel better
Sundays.
when you do that.
Yeah, exactly. I go to church on Sundays with my family, right? And like I said, I might not be the most religious people, but what I started doing, person I should say, I take a notebook and I listen to the sermon, I listen to story, and I've been relating it back to podcasts that I want to do. So even me telling you, like Rose today, like, hey, we're gonna talk about this. It's literally because I went to church and I filled out my month's quota. Like, I want to do my podcast like this and like this, and I listened to the sermon, and
Wisdom of
I
God's
I I
word.
I, I relate it to not just like. I don't like maybe I don't necessarily relate it to like my belief or like religion or Jesus or things like that, but I take it back in terms of life and how I want to compare it to life, right? And it's like a gentle reminder, and like now I feel more comfortable doing podcasts. There's still so much more I want to do for the podcast, but like now I just feel like I'm not as unorganized as I used to be for for the podcast itself.
Yes, I remember moments when you rush, when you just got up and you're here. I remember moments when you're like, oh, I have to be on time.
Yeah, that or just
Like
like
when the consistency was in there, I'm like, it's every Saturday. So
No, but not only that. I mean, I think, and I think even like last week I was talking
huge
a lot,
difference.
right? And even now I
Yeah,
started talking more. But I do think even you remember there's times of the super low energy I had. Sometimes I didn't talk as much, or I didn't feel great. And even during our 1 year, I was just like not all there. But now it's just like like I look back and I'm like, why was I so down? Like, why was I so stressed about work? The biggest enemy is like yourself. The biggest enemy is the thoughts in your
yeah.
head. So after
It's you
I,
versus you. One of them have to die, right?
yeah, exactly. Thank you
It's
for
your
that
favorite
gentle
quote
reminder.
that I
It's me versus
remember.
me,
Yeah,
and one of us has to die.
yeah. And we were me and Gina were talking about the new famous quote that we decided to integrate in our lives. If you lost, take a look at the view.
That's it's funny.
I
She
don't know
was
where you got that from, but it's
she I
so
didn't
amazing.
I literally made that up. I made that up in the time that it happened to me. Like you know what it was, and it's the story is just so random. Okay, so I like going. That's interesting. Okay. No, so I noticed when this light is too bright, then the dark side gets darker. So now I got to figure out the camera because now it's a little bit cloudy. So now my face looks normal. But anyway, um, so my friend and I were going off roading, right? We're driving somewhere that we're gonna go drive on dirt and have fun, right? And I
Yes.
missed the exit that we were supposed to take. And I was like, crap, let's just take the next exit. And he followed me. And we went through these weird back roads in South Jersey. And I was like, yo, like this place is gorgeous. There's like open fields, there's like cattle, it was just like beautiful. And it was fall time. It was fall time. So like the leaves were changing colors and stuff. And I was like, yo, like this is gorgeous. I had no idea where I was, right? This is when like our phones weren't fully good with GPS, so like we use like the crappy GPS that if you miss a turn, it takes 10 minutes to re-navigate and stuff like that. So like I'm like lost, and I'm like just enjoying everything. And then that's when I came up with like even when you're lost, enjoy the view, because like I was like I'm lost, I'm not where I want to be, but there's nothing wrong with like enjoying what's around you, what you have now. But it was funny because I was talking to uh Gina, and like Gina's like, oh, well, Rose texted me that one day too, or like she reminded me that too, that even when you're lost, like enjoy the view, you know. So like I was like, oh yeah, no, I know that comment or that wisdom or that comment hit hard on Rose, and I'm like, I love the fact that she's passing it over and reminding you too. And she's like, yeah, sometimes I need a reminder of that. And like even yesterday when we talked about it, like it was that exact um conversation. And she was just like, I needed to remember that sometimes this may not go the way I want it to go, but it's okay to like be on the wrong path and just like enjoy it as long as I remember to come back, or I remember to go where I want to go and stuff like that. So it was a good gentle reminder. um yeah, like I think I think for her it was nice to have someone that she can talk to. It was nice for her to have like that camaraderie there, because she does tell me all the time. She's like, I wish Rose was here more often. And I'm like, there's a time that Rose will come, right? But Rose is like never without you. For a second, if you reach out to Rose, she won't like forget you. She won't be like, oh yeah, even if she had a busy day, she'll hit you up later. But I was like, the bond that you built with Rose, the relationship you built with Rose, is gonna be forever. You know, and even with me, I was like, look, we met through the podcast. Yeah, you existed with the crew before this, but we met through the podcast. Like now, like you might have had some burnouts, you might have had some bad experiences with other people, but somehow you kept going. Somehow you're here, and somehow we're here. you know. And one of the things, and I'm not gonna go too deep, she had an item, like she was wearing a necklace. She has a item around that necklace, right? And I noticed it, right? And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's that thing, right? And she's like, did you just call this what it is? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I have the same thing. I have it on my keychain, right? And she's like, and like she like swelled up. She's like, oh my god, like you're the second person that's ever said this. Like, you know what this is? I was like, yeah, because this means something to me. And then she told me what it means to her. I won't get too deep about that intimate conversation, but like it was comforting to her, you know. And I was like, this. I honestly think I've come to learn that. I think we talked about this before, where I called people like soulmates, right? The word is actually soul friends. That I've come to learn what it is. So there's people that you meet in your life that are soul friends, and I'm like, Rose is a soul friend. You're a soul friend. Like we
I
met
like
here.
that.
We
We are
met
soul friends.
we met here for a reason. We met for a reason. And like although there might be bumps along the way, there might be turns, curveballs, whatever you want to call it, it'll be along the way. But like I think it's important that like we like even if I'm in your life for a season, people who meet me for like some time and leave, they walk away from a lesson with me, or I walk away from a lesson with them. You know what I mean? Like no matter if it's a good and bad experience, where I'm at now, I look at it all as good experience. Even if something really bad happened to me. Like I crashed my car, but it woke me up to remember that like I'm not invisible, right? I'm not invisible. Um, After I crashed my original car, I thought to myself like, is this life not for me? Is this life not about me? But then when I asked my wife, like, hey, I have two choices for cars. Which one should I get? And she looked me dead in the eye and she said, what do you think I'm gonna say? She knew that my journey wasn't over with cars. She knew my journey wasn't over with like, hey, like you had a big passion about this. Just because you crashed your car doesn't mean it's over, you know. And I understand now what that lesson means to me. I understand now what that answer means to me, you know. Gina says there's times that there's things I needed to do, but they felt overwhelming. So I've made a conscious decision that when it happens, I will put that off and instead do something that I want to do. Obviously, as long as pulling it off isn't detrimental, the ability to choose to do something else that uplifted me helped me to be able to do things that overwhelm me. Amen. That was very beautifully worded, right? Because there are times where like, when something hard hits us, you don't have to address it right away. In fact, Gina, I was doing the very opposite. I was worried about a future that wasn't even happening, and that's a thief of the joy today, right? So when I started thinking about tomorrow and I was like, oh, what am I going to do for work tomorrow? Oh, I don't know if I'll finish all my work tomorrow, right? Why worry about it today? It's going to take away the joy, my time today. It's going to take away my peace today. It took me a while to hit that point to be like, when it happens to me tomorrow, it happens to me tomorrow. I'll figure it out then. I even said the
Yes.
saying from the comedian that was just like, why worry about it in the future? Like if it happens then, worry about it then, but don't let it. He said lightly. He's like, don't let it fuck up today.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. There's a beautiful book. It's called Power of Now. I think I mentioned this before.
Hmm.
Definitely recommend everyone to read because Power of Now. Because right now it is. There's no future. There's no future. It's
Yeah.
right now. Right now you have no problems. Right now you happy. Right now everything's good. Right now. Not next second, next minute, next hour, next day. Exactly. When it happens, deal with it when it happens. And statistically, 98% of things that we worry about or think about usually not happen.
Yeah. Like.
Usually not. 98%. That's a lot of percentage. So why worry? Let God worry. I've
Yeah.
heard that from one of the worship Sundays, and that was amazing. I definitely recommend telling everybody yourself, why worry? Let God worry. God got you. God is great.
It's like I said, the biggest enemy is your mind, and it's insane sometimes how deep it can get you.
Yeah, your inner
Um,
critic.
So
So,
I think that's why there's a lot of times where I'm more blunt about things. I'll say things out loud. I'll say things to my friends, and I'm like more blunt about it, and it does pass that worry. Like if I I don't like no. There's really nothing between like you and I in that sense, right? But like if I'm talking to you and I'm like, oh, I wonder what Rose thinks about like this, or if I say this, like I obviously there's a level of appropriateness or whatever, but like if there's something I have a concern for you, I am now comfortable at a point that I'm not gonna worry about it. But if
I
it
don't
is
think about that.
no,
Mm.
but the thing, yeah, like if it's like something I want to talk to you about, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna be like, you know what, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, right? Because even like me saying, don't worry about it, I worry about it, right? Kind of, it's almost like the same level when we talk about things, and it's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. I actually don't like saying I'm fine. I don't like those words. I do not ever like saying I'm fine. You know why? Because in situations, something happens and someone comes up to me and they ask me how you doing, and I say I'm fine. I know I'm not fine. I know I'm not fine, right? And I think one thing that Gina said to me today, just so I just want to say it. So Gina says, "When you're lost, enjoy the view." The quote really resonated with me. The story behind it is very cute, but those words can be applied to every situation in life. All right,
Yes.
maybe there is a delay in our chat because she's texting me what she's sending and then asking me if
She's
I
in and
see it.
out, in and out. I see that she's in and out.
I gotta see like if there's an actual delay though. But like yeah, obviously I said that
It might
quote.
be 10-second delay,
It's not that long,
but we're still
but
here.
I did text her. I was like,
Usually,
sometimes your quote will come through. I just respond. I mean, like I'll
a
read it
little
at
later.
late.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. She'll
Um,
be alright.
but yeah. So like even like when I like one thing that I appreciate from Gina was like I told her like the stuff I was going through, and that the times where I felt weak, the times where I felt like I wasn't making it, and without hesitation, she had to remind me that I'm doing good, and that she's proud of me too, just like I had to do for her. So me, you, even like my wife, like a few friends that I know, um, we're people that when we see people down around us, we can't keep them there at all too long. The second somebody starts spiraling, the second someone starts saying something negative, me, you, Gina, we all have that power that we just stop it. We just stop it, and we're just like, no, you can't think that way. You got to remember that you're doing good. You got to remember that you're doing great. Stuff like that.
Hmm. Look
Uh,
what Zena is suggesting.
you know
She
what?
said, "I think that quote should be put on motivation."
Swag.
Swag.
I'm still working. So,
Oh my God! Little bird came to my window. Hi, bird.
oh, did I tell you I told you I have a fish, right?
Okay.
So we
You
bought
have
a
a
fish.
fish?
We bought a fish last week. I'll take pictures. I'll send them next
Oh,
time. We bought a fish and we were worried about if it's doing any good and things like that, right? This fish loves us. Like
the
when we come
bird
up
is
to the
saying hello. It's
glass,
probably my mom.
there you go. There you go. She's reminding you to seize the day. I see the sunlight coming in,
Oh,
the glow. You're good. You're good. We're all having a good day here. Is it cold over there?
actually, yesterday was warm.
Yeah, it's
Today's gonna
even
be
here.
the last warm day, and after today, it's gonna go down to 30s. I don't know about you, but yeah, it's gonna go down to 30s, and it's gonna get
Cold.
yeah. And
Um.
I'm ready for all of the beanies, all the fuzzy jackets, and the fuzzy shoes. Just bring it on.
All right.
I believe this winter is gonna be a snowland, and I cannot wait for that.
We're supposed to
I love
have it.
snow.
We're supposed to have expected snow at the beginning of December, which is crazy. But before I
Beautiful.
forget,
I love
because
snow. Maybe I
I know
should
I,
be there for that
I know I keep
snowland.
saying I'm gonna send it and I haven't yet. I printed out a new label for the shirt. I gotta just make sure the shirt's packaged the way it is. I'm going to the gym after the podcast. I'm gonna go drop it off. So you should have it by Tuesday or
Stickers.
Wednesday. But the thing
We
is,
can make stickers.
the one thing I want to ask you, I think I asked you before, but what size shirt do you wear? Or
Small.
what size shirt you want small? But if you want like a hoodie, would you want that small too? Or do you want that to be a little bit bigger?
I'm small. Yeah, I'm small.
You just small? You don't want because like I'll get hoodies a
Yeah,
little bit bigger than me just so they're a little bit
because
more.
medium is gonna look bulky, and I'm
Okay.
gonna just drown in it. And a lot of people are like, no, you're not small. You're medium. I said, listen, I know my size. Sometimes even it's
No, no,
XL,
it's funny
and
because like
it's
sometimes small will fit comfortably, but something like a hoodie. That's why like for me like hoodies, like I'm a
yeah.
small everything, right? But I don't want my hoodie to be fitted. You know what I mean? I want my hoodie to be a
I
little bit,
understand.
but
I
that's me.
understand because
But
I'm short.
yeah.
It's gonna look like I'm drowning, and at the same time, I do have like a white bones. It's like me
Uh,
naturally have a white bones, so it's like a bigger shoulder, hips, but there's nothing but white bones. That's why I'm small. So
yeah.
people always
No,
think I'm medium or large. I'm like, where?
no, that's fine.
I'm a
So
Japanese. The Japanese back and front is I don't even know what. So
no,
anyway,
no. I only ask because like I'm trying to get that order in
yeah.
for like hoodies as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I'm going to see if I can at
Right
least
now.
see if I can
Tell me
support it.
right
So
now, Gina.
Gina, if you can hear me and eventually I'm sure the comment will come through, just let me know what size you are so then I can buy you a few things. And I think
Small.
what I'll do is I'm going to get some hoodies made and on the front I'll have our logo and stuff like that. On the back I'll put that quote. I'll put that quote on like on the back upper part of it so then like people can see the back of that. And then obviously I'll make other stuff. But yeah, but I want to ask for the sizes just so I can work with my buddy who's gonna make the merch and ask him to make it soon and then go from there.
Shout out to your neighbor.
Yeah, for real. But I know he said there's a backlog of it, so I got to follow up with him. I know he watches the show here and there, so and I know he's going through a lot, but he's doing
Thank you.
better too. So cheers to that. Let's see what else is going on. I'm
Gina
trying to
is only
think.
right now. It's only this second.
Yeah.
Every second is gold. So treasure it. Every second you make a decision towards your future. There's no wrong path. There's a path that you decided to take because you decided to take. So we all been there. We all decide our path. We create our future. But we here right now. Right now you happy. Right now there's no problems. Right now you're beautiful. Right now this second is gold. Right now. Everything is right now. So you decide right now how your next second is going to be. Do
Yeah.
it from here. From here. Do it from here.
Mm.
This place will never betray you, will always let you go where you need to be. Because soul is connected. Connect with your soul. That's
Yeah.
important. Know who you are. Don't forget who you are. That's the name of our podcast today. Your soul. Connect to your soul. You don't know how to connect with your soul? Get something warm. Wrap yourself in a blanket. That's a medical fact and a technique. Take yourself a warm bath with some oils and some salt. Make yourself a hot tea. But bring on some fuzzy socks, warm socks. Connect with yourself. Connect with your soul. Listen to yourself. Don't rush it. Don't overwhelm it. Don't do anything. We do so much that we overwhelm ourselves. Don't do nothing. Do three things a day. Get up, brush your teeth. I don't know. Drink a water and go to sleep. That's three things.
Mm.
But listen to this. Stop listening to your mind. Your inner critic will constantly gonna tell you what it needs to tell you because it's trying to protect you. Oh, don't do that. I'm trying to protect you. It's a scary way. Don't go there. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna turn out this way, that way. It's gonna give you scenarios of everything your mind collected over all these years. Stop listening to your inner critic. Listen to your soul. Connect with your body. Connect with yourself. And don't forget who you are.
Yeah. And it's sometimes we do lose our sense and we forget that. And I think the other beautiful part, the second part to that is like people do feel like they're in a space that they don't have anyone around, but we do. You know, we have each other. We have people like that we come to meet and like fall in love with or whatever. But like sometimes it's nice to be reminded, and I think with what we have in front of us, and I'm saying this in a direct sense to like you, Rose, to Gina here, right? That we have each other. Like there's times that when we go through hard stuff, we know we can reach out to each other, you know? And sometimes we're shy. We're like, oh, I don't want to be a bother. Like, I think that's just innate to us, right? And what I started doing more now is just being thankful for that people being around. Like before, I would say, "Oh yeah, no worries," right? But instead of saying that, like, because in a way, you're telling the person it's not a problem. Thank you for being here. But instead of saying no worries to say thank you, now I
My
say thank.
pleasure.
Now no, now I say thank you to say thank you. You know what I mean? When someone's like, "I'm sorry this happened," I don't go, no worries. That's fine. No, I say thank you, because then that goes to show that you're actually appreciative and grateful for what's happening in front of you. I have a friend, like my friend in California, like we used to play games every night. Now it's a little bit busy and stuff like that, so there's times we catch up and I say sorry more than I should, and she just says, like, thank you, but we'll play soon. You don't have to, go crazy about it. We'll definitely make the time. So gentle reminder to all of us here in our podcast, to our viewers right now, like, we're here for you. We're here for you and we'll always be here for you. And obviously, Rose and I, you can reach out to us accordingly, but like, just in general, always remember that you're not fighting battles alone. Even when you feel as alone as you do, reach out to people, because you will realize you are not alone. You are not alone, right? So cheers to that one there. But I just want the people to know that keep fighting the good fight. I got a little, damn it, I have the mug again that says let it snow, but hopefully it doesn't snow anytime soon.
Let's go. Bring on the snow queen to the ice queen. You
I
want to
am
be
not.
a beach queen, Jenna? She said, okay, snowbird, do you. I want to see sunset and forest. Go ahead. Do you, Gina?
Yeah, and then Gina, yeah, no, Gina, if I mean, I've seen what size you are now, like seeing you in person, but if you're a different size, just let me know. But I'll probably end up getting like a small for you as well. But
A
yeah, I'm
hoodie
hoping
and
to get that
sweatshirt.
stuff made.
Yeah. She wants hoodie, sweatshirt. Would be awesome. Zippered. Okay, request is taken.
But
And she
see,
wants to quote in the back. Okay.
outside of that, I mean, for the future of Motivation Station for the rest of this month, I mean, next week, I'm definitely gonna see if my kid can come by. I do want to see if I can catch someone to be on here, but just as of late with work and scheduling and things like that, it's been a little bit tough. But this month is definitely gonna be about being grateful. This month is definitely going to be about reminding us to be thankful for what's going on in our lives, the good, the bad, Ho'oponopono level stuff, everything. You right? We're here to remind ourselves that we're here, we're alive, we're breathing, we're having a good time, and I would love for like people to come and share that with us. If you're doing something different, let us know. Um, but obviously, as always, like we're very appreciative of people that come by and join our podcast and subscribe to us and share. And like even talking to Gina, like when we met in person, like she was just so ecstatic about talking about the podcast and how much it means to her. And I was like, if it
Thank you.
makes a difference for one person, like damn, like I already feel good, you know. And I did tell her as well that I feel like when I do this podcast, it's like therapy for myself. It's therapy for myself. Like I feel better after the podcast. I feel better for the week, things like that. I know it helps you. Like we're all going through this. And even though like we might not have all the viewers in the world. We might not have like a lot of people talking in our chat. When we're here, we enjoy what we got. Whether it's me and you just talking to each other, me and you talking to Gina, Morgan, Frank, whoever is here, we just enjoy the time that's here, period. And I appreciate that. Um, yeah, and that's all I got.
Yes.
Rose, any full parting words from you?
Oh, they do it with animals too. Sweating technique. I don't know what sweating technique is, but she said right now I'm in the motivation station and I'm happy and I'm at peace. That is definitely a beautiful thing to recognize within yourself. Let's keep that way every second of your life. Happy and at peace. But what I want to say when I come to the motivation station, for me, it's very always exciting because I'm more of like an energy girl. So and I'm a girl, right? So I need to put on my a beautiful outfit. I have to put my hair differently, uh, do my skincare routine, and put some accessories. As you can tell, every podcast is something new, something different. I love that because I'm a girl. At the same time, it's who I am. It brings out my energy and it helps me to improve in that area. We all improving in some areas where we have goals and we see where we need to work on, and I hope you do. And and we look into it. And I love this. Energy comes, and then while I'm sitting, listening, talking, and reading the chat and comments and people that listening to us and watching us, it's always give me this moment to reflect. I look at it. I said, this is how I felt this morning. Do I really need to feel this way?
Mm,
Was I 100% happy and at peace?
mm,
Was I in a now moment? What am I doing? What is my next move? What is my decisions? Or what exactly I'm doing that's gonna, if I'm not at happy and at peace right now, right? Example, what am I doing to get there? What's the steps? Well, it's a constant for me personally. I'm a Virgo.
mm,
It's always a reflection of my energy. Am I actually happy with my look today? I am happy with my look today. You know, am I happy today how the podcast is going? Yes, I am happy. Why? Because we are bringing light to us. We're bringing light to people. We are speaking about essentials that you won't find anywhere. Show me the podcast right now that's speaking about essentials and speaking about people's pain and how to reflect, how to work that through and be happy and at peace. Have you seen people chatting and saying, hey, I'm at peace and I'm happy right now? Where can you find that? Where can you connect people together, putting in the room and everyone is just like, wow, this is. When I've read the comment to chat when Morgan said, I changed the way I speak with my mom now. Show me the room that does that. We do that. We do that every Saturday. We do that for you. We do that for ourselves. And I'm grateful that every single second that we're speaking, talking, and me personally reflecting, and we are on the right track.
mm.
This is the right track. This is the track that God told us here. You do it. You you grow yourself from all of your traumas and pains, become happy at peace, and you show to others how to do the same. That's it. God, it's always pleasure that you liking, watching us, sharing our posts, sharing our videos, listening to our Spotify while you're driving, putting your 2 cents, beautiful 2 cents on the chat that we always love. We always love communicating with you, listening to your story, reflecting from your story, taking away beautiful quotes that we created, or we started creating our own quotes, right?
Mhm,
Uh, one of my favorite quotes that I created one time for myself, you bring your own weather everywhere you go.
mhm,
So keep on bringing your own weather. Could be sunny, could be thundering, could be stormy, but there's a rainbow. There's a pot of gold in the end of the rainbow, right?
mhm.
There's
Exactly.
rain, there's wind, there's everything.
Yeah.
Even the snowland. It's your weather.
And
Bring it on.
I think to add on top of that too, right? Whether you bring, right? Like, I mean, even if it's thunder, rainy, stormy, whatever, right? You can still enjoy it. That's the craziest part. It could be snowy, snowstorm. You can't do anything. You can, your attitude at the end of the day with that weather is what makes the difference. You can dance in the sunlight or you can dance in the rain, right? It's how you do it. And I think that's important. And I like that a lot.
Absolutely.
Um, that's a good takeaway. And like we said, we hope you join us next week as well as we share more grateful moments, grateful times. Maybe we'll talk about grateful memories that we have from the podcast, or
Yes.
grateful guests, things like that. I'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna try to see if I can get someone to come. And then if
Yes.
anything, Rose, next week, all right? I'm making the decision
Gina is
today.
beautiful. You need deep breaths. A
We
lot of people need
we
deep breaths.
we are
Definitely.
going to. I'll say it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Next week we are gonna be wearing our gear for Motivation Station. You should be getting it, like I said, Tuesday or Wednesday, and then I'm gonna wear my hoodie or shirt, wherever that may be, and we're gonna dress up in our
It's
motivation session. It
happening.
is happening.
It's
Uh,
happening.
but yeah, yeah, your soul will tell you what when you need to rest. Actor Jim Carrey had shared that depression is actually a state of deep rest. I felt that sometimes you just need deep rest, and it's
I
not
love
just
you.
sleep. Yeah. So that one, yeah, no, I 100% agree, and I think some of it we'll talk about that more for sure. But like definitely we're capable of giving that to ourselves, and I think it is also very important to remind us to give that to ourselves. It's not just a matter of putting your head down on the pillow and going to sleep. It's a matter of putting
Yeah.
your head down on the pillow and resting, right? And remembering that
Pour
you
that
are doing
light
good.
into yourself.
Yep.
Like that. Just
And be
pour
like,
it in.
hey, today was a good day, tomorrow's going to be a good day,
Yeah.
you know? But
Every day is a great day if you believe in it.
so, cheers to everyone that joined. Cheers to Rose and Gina and Morgan. I know you're out there, and Frank and everybody that's been watching. We love you guys so much, and we appreciate
Love you.
you being part of the family. And we will see you guys next week. Take care. Have a motivated day.
Every Saturday, 11 a.m. See you later.
Bye.